Grand Rising Leo, how are you doing on this beautiful day in November? Welcome for your monthly reading of November. Um, we're going to go ahead and get into it. All of the monthlies that I have done for everyone will be shortened now down to 30 minutes. So every monthly reading is like an example of my minis. And then, of course, if anyone wants anything extended, there is information in the description box for how to schedule an appointment. Or if you want to follow any of my pages on social media, you can do that. I talk about way more things than astrology. Other things that maybe people would call conspiracy. I have a range of interests, so it's a bunch of things that I talk about. But we will go ahead and get into it. The reading for this month, Leo. Thought I was going to get into it. All right, so let's go ahead. If you hear little videos in the background, that is just my son, my baby. We got a visitor in the building with us today. They seem to frequent me when I'm in my office, so 3 cards we're going to pull. 3 stands for working on the relationship with the inner child. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I have 2 videos on Facebook, part 1 and part 2, what is the inner child? It's a broad topic, but that's just a basic, a first run. I know I'm going to have to go a little bit more in detail with the inner child. Okay. Guess this is the one. All right. All right, so let me go ahead and get into the cards that we got here. All right, Leo. All right, so the first card that we have here is the 9 of Pentacles, okay? All right, so let me tell you what I see. Usually when we get the 9 of Pentacles card, this is a card of success. This is a card of guaranteed success, receiving the fruits of your labor, being in celebration, being very proud, promotion, up-leveling. 9 has to do with the number, with humanitarianism. So the question is, how can I be of service? Whenever we see the number 9, I'm sorry. Whenever we see the number 9, that's always how can we be of service? So different ways that we can show up in a time like today, Leo, is sometimes it's not all about, what gets done for us or what God does for us. It's about being of service. Now, with the way that the world is going, since about August, God has been blessing people. God has been giving people, they've been reaping what they sow. 8 has a lot to do with, you get what you receive. Whatever we put out, we get back. So when I see this card, Leo, I'm here for you to share your success. Share your successes, share the fruits of your labor, because with the way that this world is going and with the way that everything is going, like I said, it's not all about what can get done for you, but it's a time to give out. What it does is it ensures that you'll be taken care of, that God takes care of you, but it also ensures that if you ever need, or if there's ever something that seems out of reach, it's a guarantee that you will have that because you've given. We live in a type of world where too many people are focused on themselves. Too many people are focused on, what can be done for them? What can someone else do for them? Turn that around and figure out what you can do for other people. Donate canned goods, like to a food pantry or to a food drive. Help out a neighbor, someone elderly. Help out a friend. Be of service. That is what this is all about, because when that judgment day comes and it's time to judge and to see how you lived, one of the things that's going to help fill up your karma bank is making sure that you are of service to others. That's where you're really needed right now. That's really what I see going on here for the month of October, or I'm sorry, the month of November. Being of service, finding different ways to being of service. And being of service, that guarantees your success in any endeavor. I already see success with that card, but I just feel like you need to remember to give when you can give. There's a white bird on this card. Usually when I see white birds, I refer those to like some type of an angel, some type of relative, past relative looking over you, letting you know that you are loved, letting you know that you are guided, letting you know that you are protected, you know, letting you know that you have that love, you have that extra support behind the scenes. I think sometimes, Leo, you can feel a little lonely. You can feel a little bit like you're in things by yourself, or sometimes you carry the weight of situations. But I want for you to feel that you are guided and that you are supported. The Pentacles, that is earthly material. So those are our earth signs. So that's our Taurus, that's our Capricorn, that's our Virgo. Those material signs. So I'm feeling for you to share more of your resources, to share more of your success, to share the secrets of your success, you know, how you got where you're at. But I see nothing but success, but I feel like remember to be of service, remember to be kind, to kind of keep that success going for you in your world. See, Six of Wands. Okay. So I see someone who is on a stage. I see someone who is under a spotlight. I see someone who is receiving praise, who is receiving grace. This just kind of reminds me of sunlight, and I equate sunlight to God's grace. And I see they're receiving grace, they're being praised, but they're giving thanks. Six of Wands, okay? Wands has to do with our fire signs, okay? So the Wands are going to be our Leo, our Aries, our Sagittarius. Those signs put things in action. Those are signs that are always working, always have something going. They're passionate. They work from their passion. You know, that's just the way that fire moves when we think about those things. And then the Six of Wands. Six has to do with working on that relationship with the higher self. I know that I said three, but three is, I mean, it represents the 3-year-old in us, aka the inner child, but it also represents action. You know, 3 represents making sure that we are in alignment, making sure that what we think matches with what we say, matches with what we do. That's what the three energy is about. When we think about a 3-year-old, that is how that's the energy that a 3-year-old carries. They're very real. It's that energy, that inner God, you know. A 3-year-old is very consistent from thought to mouth to action, that same consistency. So that's what 3 is about. 6 is about honing in on that part of you, honing in on the 3-year-old part of you, honing in on your highest self, spending time with your highest self. So spending time with your highest self looks like playing, doing things that the 3-year-old self, you know, would do. Spending time with, you know, children to tap into your inner child, spending time with children and doing things from a child's perspective, as opposed to spending time with a child and doing things from an adult perspective. You know, children and adults, they think very different. And one thing is, you know, when we are children, when we grow up into adults, a lot of us forget we were children. So we bury all the parts of us that identify with the child below, deep into the subconscious, and then we carry on. And we're in such a time where we need to harness that energy, because the children are the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So the way that translates in my mind is that if you do not have the childlikeness of a child, if you are not forgiving in heart, if you are not forgiving in spirit, if you are not lighthearted, if you are not, you know, the things that describe a child to be, not childish, childlike, there's a difference. Then you just can't go. All the negative, heavy energy that we accumulate throughout our lives, you know, sadness, guilt, shame, those things, we have to find a way to work through those things. And so spending time with the 3-year-old, spending time with the inner child, aka, you know, shadow work, things like that. Because shadow work really is just like a darker way of saying inner child healing. Really, it really is the same thing. because it's all the stuff buried, like I said, within the shadows, within the subconscious, buried within the ages of 0 to 7. But there's different parts of us as a child. There's the 3-year-old child. There's the 7-year-old child. So you want to honor all those parts of, your childlikeness when, you think about what it is to spend time with the higher self. Now, I see that you do receive praise. I see that you are in a successful time in your life, whether that be you have a success, you have a family, whatever success means to you. It's not always about money. It could be you have a family. It could be you got, you work a job that you've always wanted to work. Yes, baby. You want the crowd to see you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Jimmy Jam. Say hi. Hi.
Hi.
It's chewing on her brand or something. So there's two ways that I can interpret this card. I see people giving you praise, like I said, because they're proud of you. You're doing what you need to do. You're handling your shit. You're moving with passion. You're moving with action. You're doing it. That's what the wands represents. Action. You are taking action. I see one or two things: that you are giving credit. You are giving credit to God. You are letting people know that I'm doing these works because of God. You are very vocal about your relationship with God. You are very passionate about your relationship with God, or about your relationship with, the higher ups. I mean, God. Or you are forgetting to give God credit. One of two things. There's one or two ways that this will work out. You could be giving God credit. You could be like, praise to the Most High, all grace to God. Or you could not be giving credit to God. The one thing that I want to remind you, Leo, is give credit where credit is due. As things come up in our life, and as people praise us, and as people give us, grace for reaching new heights in our lives, or, succeeding in certain things, whether it be a family, career, a dream, something that we're moving forward towards, do not remember to give God credit where credit is due. When that light hits you, when that sunlight hits you, when that light hits you, that pure natural light hits you, understand and know that is God's grace. When God shines his light on you and he gives you his grace, move forward and give grace to others and let others know, I've done these things in my life because of God. God has been the mover and the pusher of my life. And I want you to know that, because that's all of our job. Our job is to come here as individuals, have the human experience that God provides for us to have, so we're able to see the works and see how he does things, and then give the credit back to him. When we give the credit back to him, one, God continues to shed his light on us. He continues to give us grace. He continues to communicate with us. He continues to bless us. And whether we know it or not, a blessing to others is letting others know that, hey, our Father guarantees that we can have this, and this is how you get this. Now, again, and I feel like I always have to let this be known. Our relationship with our Father, with God, it is not reliant on a religion. That's that by itself. And let me tell you why it's not reliant on a religion. I can't speak on other religions because I haven't experienced other religions. I have been familiar with Christianity because that's what I grew up in. When I was in my early, just a small story time, because I always got to hit a story time. When I was in my early 20s, I think I walked away and I decided I can't do Christianity anymore. I couldn't do it because of the hypocrisy. I couldn't do it because, certain people, and I can't say it's everyone, but it's like every job in the world, there's a good guy and there's a bad guy, good cop, bad cop, good Christian, bad Christian. It's the same ones that want to try to, tell you how to live your life, but can't even be nice to people. It's just real funny for me, because when something says above all else, be kind, and you can quote every single Bible verse, but you can't even be kind, you make the religion look bad. I'm sorry. So, and I know that it's not just me, I've spoken with other people. I know that it's not just me who has pulled away from, the religion, because I don't like the hypocrisy of it. I don't like the fact that you know 20,000 Bible verses, but you can't fucking be nice. So it's just like all that goes out the window, and you know what I'm saying? Because you're not even. For me, it's more about just like showing what you know. And so, to be honest with me, if you think about the description of like what a Christian is and how they're supposed to act and how they're supposed to be, I've been a better Christian since I've no longer been Christian. Like, it's very easy for me to live my life, be free, have my beautiful relationship with God, and God blesses me. He talks to me, so I know I'm doing right for me and mine. I know I'm doing good. And so I just kind of try to let my niceness, my pureness, my genuineness, my open heart, my God has revealed so much to me. He's shown so much to me. I try to just be the example of what a good relationship with God looks like. And that's no religion needed. That's no religion necessary. I want people to understand that you can have a relationship with God without pleading to a religion. It's very possible. The only reason I know that is because, like I said, I'm in my 30s, and when I was 20, I walked away from it, and I've kept a relationship with God. He's still blessed me very heavily. He's still been very prominent in my life. So I know that has nothing to do with our religion, because I'm not one. I wanted to, there's so many labels that we get put under, and I just wanted to strip that one away. I found when people, found out I was Christian, they wanted to argue with me about shit. And and me, I still go on, I still do what I do, and I feel people are more, it's something about when you tell people you're a Christian, they're just defensive. And I just felt like, people aren't getting to know who I am. They don't want to hear anything I have to say, from that standpoint, because they think that I just want to attack them. So if taking that label away makes it easier for people to hear me, and it makes it easier for me to hear other people, that's something that I'm willing to do. And I did that. So like I said, as things show up in your life, as you get congratulated, as you move forward, give grace to God, okay? Four of Cups. Take these. My son's over here playing with the cards. Here, baby. Here. You're welcome. Okay. Four of Cups. Okay, so I see, let's break this down here. I see a girl, she's looking, what we'll call towards old earth, or life as we know it, earth as we know it. And she's just very bored. She looks unsatisfied. She just looks like, her cups are empty. Her cups on one cup is being filled, with 3 cups, they're empty. She's sitting on what looks to be like a drum, and she's just miserable. But right behind her, literally right behind her, her cup is being filled. Someone's holding the cup. The cup's being filled. It's magical. I feel like there's days, Leo, and I feel like we all have those days. There's days where you just don't know if you're doing enough. There's days where you just don't know. You just don't feel satisfied. You just don't feel like things are going, It's kind of one of those things where you can't see what's going on with your 2 eyes. Like in front of you, it looks like there's nothing going on. But behind the scenes is where the magic's at. The part that you can't see, the layer in the universe that you can't see, is where God is moving. We have to understand that we are a 5... Oh, somebody's not happy with the cards. In a natural state, we are a 5 sensory being. We are 5 senses. We taste, touch, feel, hear, and see. Our basic 5 senses. But the universe as a whole, the world, this great earth that God made, this entire universe that he made, it is a multi-sensory universe, which means that there are things going on that I can't see, that I can't touch, that I can't taste, that I can't hear, that I can't feel. Because the universe was not limited to 5 senses. It's limited to, just like the 6th sense, our gut. If we have strong intuition, our gut can pick up on the different things that are going on, feel the different things that are going on. Like me, I'm clairaudient, clairvoyant, claircognizant. I can hear, see, and feel. Those are my 6 sensibilities. And and other people have I'm sorry, he's getting crazy over here. Other people have other ones, but I would not have those. I could not feel those if there were not different, different sensory things going on in the universe around me. So I want you to understand, Leo, that it's not all about what you can see. You have to learn to trust the things that you can't see. Just like we trust God, we can't see him. Everyone can't always hear him. Everyone is not aware of him, but that does not mean that he's not there. There have been some really twisted up, lies. The tricks of Satan have been very thick to where even in this day and age, with all this crazy shit going on at this point, there's still people who does not think God exists. There's people that think that God and Yeshua, aka Jesus, because Yeshua is Jesus' real name. There's people that think that Jesus is a consciousness. People think, like I said, people think that Jesus is a consciousness. They don't believe that Yeshua was a real in the flesh person like we are. They think that he is a consciousness. They think that God is a consciousness. They're not giving, you take away from who God is as a being when you limit him to just a state of mind. God's state of mind. How is there a God state of mind with no God? Like, who makes this? Satan has the world so blinded that they cannot see. He has all the truths twisted and, confusion. One thing that I'll tell you, Leo, is when there's confusion around, God's nowhere there. He can't be where confusion is. That's why whenever my mind moves to a state of confusion, and it doesn't often because I know that confusion is of the enemy, it's not of God, but whenever my mind moves into a place of confusion, I just try to get back to a place that's clear, that's not confused, because God is a God of clarity. God already knows what's going on. Just like in this card where you might not be able to see, Leo, what's happening for you, God's moving in the background, filling up your cup. Learn to step out of the five senses and into the intuition. Spend time with your intuition. Learn about your intuition. Your intuition is your higher self. That's the number 6, okay? And when we are in tune with our higher self, we're in tune with our inner child. When we believe, have conversation with, strengthen our inner child, strengthen that small, still voice inside, the higher self, the inner child, now we're operating and we're moving how we're supposed to, because we're not only making decisions from the conscious mind, but we're making them from our higher self. It helps us become a better parent. It helps us to trust our Father. When we look at the relationship with God as a child-parent dynamic, it starts to make more sense, as just earth parents are a symbolism here on earth of the grand relationship that we have with our Father. If that makes any sense. A lot of people, they don't know how to take the relationship with God, and they feel like, oh, I can't believe in God, because if I believe in God, then I'm admitting I'm believing in something outside myself. That is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. It's not about believing in something outside of yourself. It's about understanding that you are an extension of God. Just like I'm an extension of my mother and father here on earth, symbolically, I'm an extension of God. How can being an extension of God make me feel less than? Like, really think about some of the shit we hear out here, Leo. How does being an extension, would being an extension of your mother and father make you feel less than in this world? Like, does it make you feel like your parents are more stop. No. Does it make you feel like your parents are more important than you are because they're your parents? So then why would we feel like God is more important than us because he's our parent? It's not about him being more important than us. He's not up there like, oh, haha, I'm more important than you. He is our parent. He loves us. He wants us to do good. He wants us to succeed. He wants us to trust that even if we can't see it, baby, even if we can't hear it, smell it, taste it, see it, hear it, feel it, taste it, touch it, Leo, it's happening. It's happening. God says he wants us to have our heart's desires. This doesn't look like someone who trusts, Leo. But Leo, between me and you, I want to get down on you a little bit, Leo. Okay. So A Leo is the 8th month in the zodiac, okay? A Leo, the 8th month, August, stands for 8. 8 is karmic energy. 8 stands for success also, okay? Don't ever get it fucked up. But 8 means you reap what you sow. You get what you give. What you put out, you get back. This past August, we had this thing called the Lion's Gate. And I believe this Lion's Gate is every 11th. August 11th is the Lion's Gate every month. Okay. Now, 2 years ago, back in 2017, I started getting these, I call them whispers from the angels, basically telling me that the Lion of Judah is returning. Tell everyone that he's coming back soon. Now, the Lion of Judah, if some of you don't know, is comparative to Yeshua, comparative to Jesus. Whenever we think about the lion, whenever we think about the lamb, we always think about Jesus, okay? This past month in August, because 8 energy, you reap what you sow, God started giving people back what they were owed. So if you were a shitty person, you shit probably started to hit the fan come August. If you were the type of person that was always blessing others and just felt like, when am I going to get my blessings? When am I going to get, not so much to the point where like you're doing things just to get back good, God's good grace, but just to the point of, you reach a point where you're tired and you're like, God, I've done all this for other people. I've been there. I've helped. I've assisted, and you feel defeated. August, they swooped in and they took care of everything. The Leo represents strength. The Leo represents, they say ego, and it just makes it sound so, so bad. But you have to understand, Leo, you represent strength, the lion, Jesus, karmic energy. So you're a very powerful sign, but are you channeling that energy where it needs to be channeled? Are you channeling that fire correctly? Take that fire, take that purpose, take that passion, and use it to shed light on the lion. The lion is going to return. He is going to come back. The 4 on the card indicates angels. 4 of Cups, it indicates angels. It indicates, like I said, the first card, just the knowing that you are loved, the knowing that you are guided, the knowing that you are supported, the knowing that there are people who want you to succeed on the other side. There are people, working in the backgrounds to help you, family, angels. God's doing his work, of course, but know that there are, everything in the behind the scenes is working out for your highest good, is working out for your highest self. Do not give up hope. We've seen that success happens, but success happens in you remembering to be of service, remembering that God created you to come here and help others. We're all here to help. But I think, Leo, you get a bad stigma because, the ego, when we think about the ego, we think about someone or something that worries about themselves and doesn't really worry about others. So to kind of balance that out, to balance that boldness out, to balance that kingliness or queenliness out, remember to be of service. Be passionate in your endeavors. Give grace to God and know that God is working behind the scenes for you at all times. Cups, that has to do with emotion. So whenever you're feeling down, whenever you're feeling like you're just tired, remember that God is there for you. He wants you to succeed. He wants you to have those conversations. He wants you to open up. He wants you to talk because he is talking to anyone that is willing to listen. He is calling on his children. But are you, and Leo, I feel like because you've answered the call, but I just want to reiterate that God is only choosing people who is choosing him back. It's that 8 energy. And I really believe that the entire universe, as above, so below, this entire universe was made off the infinity symbol energy, the 8 energy. You reap what you sow. As above, as below, you get back what you put into situations. I'm going to go ahead and pull a loving words from Yeshua, aka Jesus card, just because I like to sweeten the pot with a little verse. Ooh, okay. Perfect. It just flipped out. All right, here we go, Leo. Be not afraid, only believe. This card is giving me this energy right here. The warrior. The part you may feel like things are not, in your eyes, things aren't what you think they should be, or things aren't, what you feel they could be. This is the lie right here. One of Satan's biggest lies. The limitation of just the five senses, not knowing that we are all multisensory beings. It's just something that we have to access. Intuition and anything past the five senses is like a muscle. It has to be worked at. It has to be practiced. It has to be strengthened. We were all made for greater. But a lot of us have succumbed to the lies. A lot of us ingest the poisons. A lot of us, and when I say poisons, I'm talking about drugs. I'm talking about drugs. I'm talking about heavy alcohol drink. I'm talking about abusing. Those are the poisons. A lot of, the over excessiveness of the food. It's not pretty, Leo, when we start to look into things and we start to realize, where we live and what's really going on. And, as God starts to pull that layer back and we start to see, Leo, I feel like you just have leader energy. But some of you are just falling to the wayside a little bit. And I just need for you to trust the process. God is not a God of fear. God is not a God of fear. God is a God of trust. Like I said, God is a God of clarity. Whenever you feel fear in a situation, I'm talking about like crippling fear. Learn to move past that fear, because fear, it's an illusion. It's something that you have to beat. And how fear is illusion is because what one person is afraid of, another might not be afraid of. So fear is very much an illusion. Learn to move that. Again, be not afraid, only believe. Mark 5:6. There's nothing to be afraid of, because with God, all things are possible. Leo, I love you. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful morning, and you have a wonderful day.